For a minute, picture yourself in a parallel universe where a version of yourself is silently watching every choice you make. This alternate version could see avenues you haven't even thought of, get a peek of opportunities concealed behind barriers, and be able to pick up on subtle facets of life that you might otherwise miss in the daily grind. Now consider the idea that this other you is attempting to communicate by sending signals and leaving hints that something exists outside of your visual perception. Although the concept of many worlds or dimensions might initially seem like something out of a science fiction story, quantum physics has long studied ideas that suggest a multitude of possibilities coexisting simultaneously. This school of thought holds that every choice, idea, and goal produces branches in the field of possibilities, and that each branch may symbolize a different path or a different telling of our own tale. The concept of parallel worlds has even more expansive dimensions when seen from a spiritual perspective. Many people think that we exist in a maze of dimensions, each populated by distinct aspects of who we are, some of which are closer to our present situation and others of which are very different. The idea that the world we live in is only one among many can broaden our horizons, regardless of our personal beliefs. It's a journey towards self-knowledge rather than only physicist or arcane curiosity. When different incarnations of yourself coexist, it indicates that in some of these realities, you have already encountered and maybe solved comparable difficulties to the ones you are facing now, potentially earning knowledge that you can share. Some people claim to have seen common occurrences like déjà vu that imply the existence of these other universes. It's possible that the odd sensation of "I've been through this before" isn't only a brain trick, but rather a unique instance in which the boundaries between two realities blur, enabling you to see tidbits of experiences that alternate self has had. The same is true of synchronicities, those significant coincidences that defy simple chance. Imagine being undecided about changing occupations, and then for a few days you are exposed to ads, periodicals, or discussions about the career you are thinking about pursuing. It seems as though a world in which you have already made this shift is giving you little reminders that this course is worthwhile, or, at the very least, merits more research. Dreams may be another way to access these alternative realms. It might be difficult to distinguish vivid, genuine dreams that persist in your consciousness after awakening from ordinary fiction, since they appear so real. In particular, dreams in which you find yourself in circumstances or settings that you are unable to explain with your present recollections may be a window into a life that is being lived by a different version of yourself. Lucid dreams, in which you are conscious of your dream and have the ability to control its course, are even more fascinating. Some claim that while in these states, they get guidance, revelations, or even intense feelings that change them when they wake up. Rather of dismissing these stories as figments of the imagination, we should see them as a prompt to consider how the planes of reality can overlap in specific mental states. In addition to the more overt indicators, there are times when you may feel strangely uncomfortable. That instant when you glance around and detect something strange, as though you are not quite aware of where you are, or the sensation that, for no apparent reason, you ought to go somewhere else rather than where you are. This weirdness can be seen as the energy of a different version of yourself that briefly merged with your present awareness from a viewpoint that considers alternative universes. It's understandable that at those times, thoughts about one's life or significant decisions that need to be made come to mind. In this situation, intuition is also highly important. That inner voice telling you to follow a particular course could be more than simply a nebulous intuition. A version of yourself who has previously traveled that route and is aware of the repercussions of a certain decision may be the source of the echoes. This intuition frequently manifests as an unwavering conviction that is hard to articulate to others. You just know, but you don't have any hard proof.
When this occurs regularly, it may be wise to pay attention, since the biggest leaps of faith and the most life-changing choices often originate just there, where intuition is already strongly pointing in the direction of something, but reason has not yet arrived, while the idea that we might get
assistance from many incarnations of ourselves is intriguing. The issue, the question of how we might intentionally tune into these other universes, emerges. The solution could be found in a concept that is frequently addressed in both spiritual currents and psychology and neuroscience studies. Everything is energy, and every emotion and mental state vibrates at a certain frequency. Our vibration range is often lower when we are feeling scared, angry, or scarce, which makes it harder to detect signals that resonate at higher frequency levels. However, our vibration increases, and we match with more subtle energy patterns when we cultivate love, compassion, and appreciation. Meditation and quiet time, even if just for a few minutes each day, are daily activities to improve your vibration. A straightforward method of purging the mind of extraneous information and emotional clutter is to sit in a quiet place, allow your breath to flow, and observe your thoughts objectively. It is simpler to pick up on nuances, record insights, and even consider overlooked coincidences when in this mindset. Taking care of your body by eating well, exercising, and getting enough sleep is another approach to increase your vibration. Despite their seeming insignificance, the mind and body are intricately linked. Perception also increases when the body operates in a balanced manner. Throughout the day, focusing on words and feelings is another useful technique. We frequently harbor pessimistic beliefs that sap our vitality without us even recognizing it. When you see a pattern of concern or criticism emerging, make an effort to swap it out with a more positive viewpoint. The practice of thankfulness is a straightforward strategy. Each day, either before bed or in the morning, list at least 3 things for which you are thankful. It might be a large celebration, or something as simple as a hug or a decent cup of coffee in the morning. In addition to improving your mental condition, this activity teaches your mind to see opportunities and coincidences in your surroundings. You start to see the signals from your other selves more clearly the instant you start vibrating at higher frequencies. A detail that was previously disregarded might now serve as a powerful nudge to take action or reconsider choices. Nevertheless, it is imperative that these messages be interpreted responsibly and wisely. Not every indication that we take for granted is actually a message from another realm. Thus, it is crucial to have a healthy dose of self-awareness, meditate on every event, and carefully listen to one's own intuition. It's crucial to apply the messages you've received to your real life, in addition to interpreting them in order to integrate them successfully. For instance, if you have a strong gut feeling that you should write a book, but never take the initial step to turn that idea into a reality, it's useless. Change can occasionally be a lot easier than we think. Perhaps you sense a calling to develop a study regimen, break a bad habit, or learn to play an instrument. Is it possible to get over your fear of shifting direction? Here, bravery and self-assurance are essential components that help you connect the various aspects of who you are. You could see that your views of the world change as you proceed on this journey of self-discovery. More subtle subtleties are added to what formerly appeared solid and definite. The concepts of space, time, and identity become malleable, demonstrating that many of our restricting assumptions were only mental conventions. Additionally, a sense of oneness with the cosmos emerges because, if there are several incarnations of you, each learning and developing along different trajectories of reality, then who are you but the culmination of all these possibilities? Although there is no clear answer to this question, it encourages us to live more freely and intentionally while discovering the limitless potential that each of us possesses. Important revelations regarding the present arise throughout this process. You naturally create space to become a more expansive version of yourself when you learn that you may engage with aspects of yourself that have previously accomplished successes, conquered fears, or found peace. Every experience has the capacity to quicken our own development, whether it is had on this plane or is recorded as a whisper from another. For instance, the sense of belonging to a you who has previously accomplished or lives something you desire promotes continuity despite day-to-day challenges. But what if all of this is just imagination? Some people wonder. Imagination is a strong tool that may open up new possibilities. Many of humanity's greatest achievements started as seemingly unattainable concepts. Imagination as a bridge to higher versions of ourselves may be just what we need to create a new future if reality is created in part by our beliefs and intentions. Physics itself, particularly quantum physics, has found things that defy logic and indicate dimensions of life that we before thought was impossible. Similarly, each person's inner world still contains secrets that aren't always easily articulated in a straight line. In the end, what we refer to as signs from other realities might be seen as a catalyst for personal development, transformation, and a more meaningful existence. The goal of these indications may be less about discovering irrefutable proof and more about using the bravery and inspiration they provide to take decisive action in pursuit of a life that genuinely aligns with our inner selves. As we go on this path of self-discovery, we realize that there is no clear distinction between what we refer to as mundane and what we refer to as spiritual or quantum. All of these dimensions blend together, creating invisible threads that, to those who are ready to see them, make up the fabric of our existence. No matter what viewpoint you choose, scientific, mystical, or a mix of the two, one thing is certain: you are a creature with limitless potential. This straightforward reality may already provide us with the optimism and inspiration we need to turn our lives around. After all, if there is a happier, more satisfied, and more conscious version of ourselves out there, why not begin creating that version right now? And I would want to make a special invitation before we wrap up our meditation. Please subscribe to our channel if you like this material and would want to see more about subjects like self-knowledge, consciousness expansion, and parallel realms. This will ensure that you don't miss the next videos, which will explore revolutionary concepts in greater detail. Additionally, please share this video with anybody you think might be interested in this subject and leave a like to help us out. For this message to reach more people and inspire in them the same drive to develop and change that it inspired in you, your involvement is crucial. I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you at the next meeting.